Number 82 for the Radiance range is Japan Organized Crime Boss from 1969, directed by the always interesting Kinji Fukasaku. This is a old school kind of Yakuza movie around the kind of proxy wars of Yakuza as it moved from old into new. And we have Tsukamoto coming out of prison at the start of this one after a 20-year stretch, and he kind of goes back into a world that is both familiar and very distant from what he remembers it to be. There are all different kinds of allegiances, and there is a new way of things that's happening that he doesn't quite agree with. He easily slips back into the mantle of Yakuza with his old boss, who he still has links with, and his old crew. But when his boss is attacked and murdered, he is left in charge, and his boss tells him on his deathbed that he made a huge mistake leaning towards the new way of Yakuza and should have stuck to the original ways of being in this lifestyle. And that's what Tsukamoto decides to do. He's going to stick within this world that he knows best, and although he's got all these pressures and forces and a timescale of which he knows sooner or later his gang is going to be up against the wall, he decides to stand firm and stick to his morals, which is really great to see because there are so many hurdles that come his way throughout it, and there are so many fantastic performers in this. You've got Bunta Sugawara and Noboru Ando in this one as well, as similar familiar faces. And they really play some antagonistic characters that really cause some upset within this world. And you have this underhanded, almost political aspect of the Yakuza, picking each other off, pretending to be honourable, but being very underhanded and just looking to grab as much power as they can. Ultimately, it's a power struggle as somebody tries to unite all the gangs so that they're more organised. I found Tsukamoto to be a character that I really enjoyed, and it's a familiar character I've seen in many other movies where he moves back into this lifestyle because it's something he knows, but it's definitely a place that he's moved on from. He doesn't really belong there anymore. It's just familiar and it's easy rather than taking the necessary step to better his life and move on. Obligation, loyalty, and honour really drive this character. But only so far. There are certain limits and when they're broken, he's going to act, which is kind of what you're waiting for throughout the film. Japan Organized Crime Boss is a film that when it explodes with violence, it really does go for it. You know Fukasaku's work, you know this is a comfortable playground for him, and he feels very assured in telling this really condensed story. Just over 90 minutes, it kind of zips by as we watch Tsukamoto really ingratiate himself back into the Yakuza world, but at the same time distance himself by refusing to play the games that everybody else is playing, how his relationships are torn apart, how he faces violence unflinchingly, which is a great sequence where he just takes some punishment to the shock of everyone round about him, refusing to act and just being a kind of stand-up guy. And it's one of those key moments within it. It shows you the nature of this character. Like I said, when the violence comes, it's terrific. This is another winner. Fukasaku, like I said, this is something that he knows how to do, and it's exceptional in what it's doing. Really interesting film, well worth picking up. Let's dive into the extras and see what there are. Here we are in the disc for Japan Organized Crime Boss. Let's go to the special features. First up, we have Kinji Fukasaku himself. In 1999, Kinji Fukasaku gave a lecture to a group of Japanese businessmen about overcoming adversity. In a talk peppered with fascinating anecdotes from his life and career, he covers his childhood in the wake of World War II, his first faltering steps into film world, and his many battles with producers and studio heads. And this is just over 34 minutes, and it is fantastic. Now, the video quality isn't great on this one, but it's a document of the man himself speaking about himself, and it's just fascinating. You know, something that's a real treasure on this disc. Next up, we have Akiko Ito. Yakuza film historian discusses Japan organised crime boss and its importance within the Yakuza genre, and for Kinji Fukasaku's career. This is just over 15 minutes. It's a great extra, really kind of leaning into the importance of this movie, how it was his first kind of modern Yakuza film, and the kind of trailblazer that it would be, how it would lead to some other absolute classics in that genre. Next up, we have Ceremonies of Male Bonding. This visual essay, Yakuza film expert Nathan Stewart looks at the collaborations between Kinji Fukasaku and star Koji Tsuruta, spanning across 3 decades, created exclusively for Radiance in August 2024. I really loved this, just over 23 and a half minutes, particularly how it focuses on Koji and his rise to stardom and how he became such a powerful player within the Japan film environment, the kind of deals he was getting, his relationship with Fukasaku, how they kind of grew together and made some absolute classics. This was a real treat of an extra. We also have the trailer, and included in this set is a 24-page booklet with a terrific essay and a fantastic review of the film itself as well. And that's the extras for Japan Organised Crime Boss. There we have it. Japan Organised Crime Boss is another winner. I've seen a lot of Fukasaku the past year, and this is definitely in the upper half of things that I really enjoyed, would recommend, and I would love to know your thoughts on this one. So let me know in the comment box below whether you loved it, hated it, fell somewhere in the middle. Can't wait to read your comments on this one. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and vfilm.com. Always, in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.